5 tips for investors who are managing multiple rental properties. Hi guys, it's Nick with Sell My San Antonio House. And if you've got 1 rental property, you're doing great. If you've got 2 rental properties, awesome. As your portfolio starts to grow and you're managing multiple properties, some absolute tips you've got to keep in mind. Number 1 thing that I think we got to focus on is our tenant screening. Tenant screening is always important. It is important from day 1, but as you expand, it becomes even more important. You're going to have to be doing it more often, and if you have properties that are right next to each other or you have multi-family properties, poor tenant screening can cause problems that bleed over into your other properties. You have to have a system. What is our required documentation? Who does the checks on the rental history? How do we run our eviction history to screen all of our tenants? What's our process? And if you start to get behind, man, I haven't got this property rented back again. Maybe they seem fine, I'll just go with it. No, do not. Do not. Stick to your process, have one in place, and make sure you keep up with your screening. 2. Maintenance and repairs. More properties you own, more this you're going to have to do. So get yourself another system. You're going to see a reoccurring theme here, right? When a call comes in, we need maintenance. Who does it go to? If it's AC, who are we calling? Plumbing, who are we calling? If you've got 1 or 2 and you did a lot of this stuff yourself, you're trying to save cost, there's nothing wrong with it. But as you start to grow, you're going to have other people that you can call that are reliable and can get these things done either in between tenants or when your tenants have an issue. So what's our system? Okay, who do we call with what? All right, so if I know here's my handyman, here's my plumber, here's my electrician, here's my HVAC guy, and then what's my process for follow-up? How do I know that these things got done? Because 1, you're gonna upset your tenants if you don't take care of these issues, but 2, small issues turn into really big expenses if they don't get taken care of, and a lot of them can be taken care of at a reasonably small cost that could later cost you thousands of dollars. The finances. All right, we all get a little behind. We don't document everything like we should, but we can catch up, man. I just got, a couple of months worth. When you have multiple properties, a couple of months turns into a couple of weeks of trying to get caught up with all the financing, and it's really hard to get yourself caught up. Stay on top of it. If you're doing it yourself, great. As you start to grow, it is my suggestion that you look into someone for the bookkeeping, okay? Why? Because you send that over to them, you can focus on other things that are more productive for you to do. And you've got someone who keeps it up to date for all your documentation. Should you need additional loans for properties? Should you need to know, okay, well, how much deposit was paid here? Stay on top of these things. And when you can, look at outsourcing that, so somebody that can help you out. This one may very well happen because it happened to me. I am guilty. Turnover. Okay, you get multiple properties, you've got so much going on. Okay, well, these folks moved out, they in a different spot in their life, they don't need to be here anymore, and that property sat for a little bit. Well, I had too much to do, well, I'm gonna get on top of it. Oh, well, I had too much to do, and now we've sat for a couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks. Then that property's vacant, it's not making any money, you're still paying taxes, you're still paying insurance. Get on top of the turnover. What's gonna be our system? Okay, when we know some tenants are moving out, what's gonna be our process for A, B, C, and D, so that as soon as they're out, we have a process for taking a look at the property, inspecting the property. We know we've got to get deposits back to these tenants, and then how do we get the property turned around, and then how do we get that property listed so we can get some new folks in there. And the last one, management. And I'm not just talking property management. Some people like to hire a totally separate property management company or just a smaller, property manager that manages a few properties. Some people just like to do it all themselves. Whatever that is, as you grow your portfolio, you get more and more properties, more and more houses. You can't do everything yourself. Or it's not the best use of your time to do everything yourself, and you're not going to do it as well as you could. So start to think about, if you've just got 1 or 2 properties, you can start to put these plans in place now. I suggest you start with, what do I really not like doing, or what is not a very good use of my time for me to be doing this? And those are the pieces that you're first going to want to pay someone else to do. For me, it was taking a ton of time to get properties leased when I was showing the properties. It was one of the first things that we paid somebody else to do, to help do the showings, get the properties listed, get the properties leased. Could be something different for you. Now, you can start thinking about that when you have 1, 2, 3 properties, when you can still do it, because guess what? You're probably gonna make some mistakes putting these systems together, and that's not just management, any of them. But you can start with them now, start implementing them, and you can make them better and better, and you refine them. And then as you're getting to multiple properties, you're a long way to having those great systems in place. So things you gotta think about: make sure you stay on top of your screening, your maintenance, repairs, finances. Keep an eye on that turnover, and look at what you're gonna outsource to have somebody else do. I hope this helps. If we can do anything for you, find us on the website, sellmysanantoniohouse.com, or give us a call, 210-201-6644.